Hello, it is I. Feeling mighty close to the camera. I guess I am sitting a little bit closer than I normally would, so that makes sense. Hi everyone! Kiwi Mum surprised me with the Tim Tams. That's so cute. She found them at a store that I've never been to. Gotcha. This is not comfortable. Let me re-kajigger myself. Blake. Oh, good hell! Hello! Good to see you. No audio for alerts? Okay. It should be alright now. That's my bad. That's my bad. They should be working.
I'm doing my part.
Yeah, they should be working. Yep. There we go. Well, at least on my end, it looks like it's working. If it's not working on your end, then I got nothing. Let me know. Yeah, more cowbell! I can't believe this is a thing.
I'm doing my part.
Ooh, yeah, how did you find it? Good. Yeah. I as soon as you said that, I knew exactly what the issue was. It is fixed now. I'm a gamer. I game. Look at me with my airplane that you might or may not be able to hear. I'm a fun guy, after all, so therefore I game. That's what I do around here. Well, not always, but anyway, we are gaming today. We're playing some Red Dead Redemption, but before we play some Red Dead Redemption, that one was not a slip of the tongue. We're just hanging out for a little bit. That's all. Anyway, look, we got some knees out. Baba Booey. It's hot today. It's bloody hot, just like it was yesterday. So if the stream randomly cuts out, then that's because my PC is too hot and I need to dunk it in a bucket of ice. So that's the one. Thank you. I've been growing it for about 20 years, I think. I'm glad someone has pointed it out. You know, it doesn't get a lot of love. Usually people are like, oh, wow, look at your hair. But they don't comment on my mustache. And so thank you. I do appreciate it. Got ads. Oh, yes. So I didn't actually answer that question. So I'm not technically in London town. I'm just a little bit south of London town, down in Southampton. But I love it. I love my stay here in the UK. I really do. I've found a group of friends that I am just completely obsessed with. And I'm close enough to London town where I can take a train in and go see a show on the West End, which is lovely. And then where I'm staying in particular is quite quiet and quaint, and another Q word, calm. I really like my move. I'm a happy girl. I'm very pleased with how my move has gone so far. And I think a big part of that is because I have made friends. Hey Yoda. Oh, thank you, Musgrave. No, I appreciate that. I do feel like maybe it would be a little bit different if I hadn't so early on found a friendship group, because I think I would feel a little untethered and not really sure about things. But the fact that I just completely lucked out and found a wonderful group of people that I see every single week, it just makes me feel like I'm at home, and so that's super important, is it not? So yeah, there's the one. But I don't have much more to say. And the convenience to all of Europe is very, very appreciated. I am enjoying the cheap flights to various countries and the lower costs of accommodation in some of these smaller towns. It's awesome. It is scary, but I think that the English versus Australian, New Zealand culture, like there's no culture shock. There's genuinely nothing that I have to really worry about in that regard. I think the only thing I've noticed in the UK is they don't seem to have like, I don't know if this is a good thing, but for example, I just want to go to the tech shop and they don't really have one. Everything is moved to online. And I don't know if that's a new thing or if they never really had Monopoly or duopolies, but I've come to realize that I'm actually maybe pro having some, not so much monopolies, but having the go-to brand. Whereas here, I just want to, go get a cable and I basically have to go online to buy them. There's not really any store that I can pop down to. And so that's something I've been finding a bit annoying. But nonetheless. Quail, perhaps? Good afternoon, Mark Tyler. The UK is like the more commercial version, maybe. Yeah, commercialized, sorry. The gaming community seems to be like that. I've turned up at a local board game night when away from home with work and just been welcomed in like a regular. That's beautiful. Yeah, I think that the gaming community, especially tabletop games, they understand that to play tabletop games, you kind of need other people. So I think in that regard, they're pretty welcoming as well. Hi, as I am. I don't know if I just said hi to you. I feel like deja vu. Anyway, if I said hi to you twice, then lucky you. It is infuriating. Like, and so especially when I was setting up my desk, I noticed that very, very obviously, because I wanted to go just pop into a store and check out some monitors, for example. And where do I go to do that? I don't. I just have to buy online. So same much in the US, too far online transition. Yeah, it's gone really, really, really online. Whereas I feel like at least in Australia and New Zealand, they still have their local store. And maybe that is something that is going the way of the dodo. But at the same time, oh, curries. That's why you said curries. I'll have to look up what curries is. I've not heard of this one. But maybe these stores are becoming the way of the dodo, but I'm realizing that maybe I am not with the times and I'm harping on the old days. Can I'll let you figure that one out, hi, Money, and then you can try again. Nick, hello. Hi, Elite. Is there like a Best Buy? No, that's my point. But this is why we're looking up curries. Say what you know. I know that you are chatting in the chat right now. I know that I am sitting on a seat right now. I know that the window to my left is open. Can you react to my movie trailer? Absolutely. Yes. Yes. If you have a movie trailer, yes. I am very happy to react to your movie trailer. That sounds like a great time. For sure. Okay, I've got it. Don't worry about it being deleted. I do have it. Yeah, Sunbeam. That's why I was like, I wouldn't put it past you. You might just be like, curries. What are we doing? We're about to react to a movie trailer. But I just want to double check about this curries. Do I have a curries near me? I can see there's some near London town. Ooh, yes, there is. There is one in the city centre. Curries. That one looks like it's near the IKEA. Yeah, so I know where the IKEA in Southampton is. So I will try and head to Curries and see if I agree. Anyhow, Yoko Ono's daughter. Yes. How did you know? Not many people pick up on this, but you have a very astute observation. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing already! Yes, okay, everyone, shut up. We are going to be watching a movie trailer. This looks incredible. Is there anything that is against TOS is the first question that I have for you. It doesn't look like it if I skim through, but jeepers, I'm so excited for this. I actually am so excited to share this as well. It's, but it doesn't look like there's anything that is a gotcha. But be honest with me. I'm not going to get banned for this, am I? It doesn't look like it. I actually am very excited at what I see. No spoilers. Good point. Okay, well, I have something for you, Ravenclaw. It's probably not helpful right now, but if you can stick it out from this trailer, I will answer your query about motivation after this trailer, because we gotta go down the list. Hi, Matthew. A little crazier. I like to think I'm like the obsessed girlfriend meme from Colombia. Hi, Larry. Okay, everyone, we are going to watch a little trailer from Mappa Productions. So I will also get this ready to share in case anyone else wants to go give it a like and whatnot. Let's go! Yeah, I was going to say, can you see? But it's just black. No, trust me, Kiwi man. This is worth it. This is absolutely worth it. You ready? And if there is a horrific like audio, because I can tell it's not a visual issue, but if there is anything audio-wise that we have to delete, we're so early in the stream that I will just end stream and then I'll restart stream. But I choose to believe that we are about to see the best trailer. And keep in mind, I am incredibly judgmental on movie trailers, but I feel like we're about to see the best movie trailer that I've ever seen in my entire life. Ready?
I got eyes on him.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to our new home.
Yay!
Is it done?
So what's your name?
Name's Chippy.
I have a story for you.
Oh my god, not the dogs!
Get out of the vehicle now!
Oh no!
Zenny.
What's going on? Wow. Wow. Wait, so are you saying the movie we can watch now as well? It's already out? The movie's already out. Wow. That was incredible. The thing is, what was beautiful about it is that there were, what was beautiful about this is that there was intrigue without spoiling the story. Like, who are these factions? What's going on? Like, what are they detecting? I don't know. So we could watch the movie on YouTube. Guys, go give some love to this little movie trailer, because that was a lot of fun. Make sure to like it and subscribe so that we can see future things from Mappa Productions. Oh, okay. Sorry, it says 15th of the 6th, was it? Rather than 16th of the 5th. That might be a little... Oh, no. Okay, so I think it's meant to be the 15th of the 6th rather than the 16th of the 5th. But yeah, it's actually legitimately one of the best trailers I've seen in a long time. It's Molly! Molly the movie. That's what the movie was. Molly! Molly the movie. Copycat Crimes give me pause. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I certainly did. Hi, JG. My name is Tom Arto. Not, or is it Tom Ato? I want to make sure to get this pronunciation right. Is it Tomato or Tomato? Let me know. Hi, Bobby. It's nice to have you here. Thank you. Oh, sorry. My apologies. I got your name wrong. Diarrhea. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I am living in England myself. So it's a pleasure to be so close to you now. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. And Joy as well. We are just mucking around until game times. And Ruba, thank you so much for the best snack. I saw that must be a little reference to my to my clip. It's got a fair bit of love. So thank you guys for all the comments on that one. It's been very, very funny. Hi, Stu. Hi, Alfredo. Yeah, Molly the movie is that one. Good to see you as well, Princess and Glenn. Hi, guys. It's good to have you here. It's the 5th day of the 16th month. That makes more sense. Thank you, Kiwi Man, for the confirmation there. Hi, Major. Anyway, guys, it's just good to be here. I hope you had a wonderful start to your weekend, whatever you've gotten up to. It's been a pretty chill one for me. I had a bit of a sleep in. I've not been sleeping well the last couple of days, so I just took it easy, enjoyed the sunshine. Although I had 2 major things happen to me that were super traumatic, so I guess that's what's gonna be chatted about, or maybe even 3 to an extent. Hey, from Queensland, very nice. I lived down in Melbourne for a few years, but I'm in England now. Oh yes. So I'm not a dual citizen, nor do I have an ancestry visa. So it's not a personal question. I've chatted about this before. I am going on the youth mobility scheme visa, Steezy. So basically, it's not even exclusive to the Commonwealth, but basically, I get 2 to 3 years in the UK, because I'm from. I just apply for it because I'm underage. Wait, not underage, under 30. So that's what I'm on. Youth Mobility Scheme visa, and I know that people from the UK can get the same one. So Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, they all kind of have the same visa. So that's the one I'm going on. Lousy smart weather. Also, hi, Katie Cameron. Hello. My weekend has been great, yay! And happy birthday to your mama. Did you make her a cup of tea, J-Joy? It's good to be cautious, but sometimes the randos bring gold. I missed what that one was for. So I will leave that. We should date. Okay, if you'd like. If that's something that you'd enjoy. Will you come to England so we can date in person, or are we just going to be online dating? I'm well, Night Warrior. How are you? Oh, gotcha. Thanks, Nine Fox. And that's the thing that's why I was very excited to see the movie trailer. Because that's the thing, you never know what you're gonna get, and we got a masterpiece. Don't worry, Kiwi Man. I also am very paranoid. That's why I scrubbed it first. I want to get the heck out of Pakistan, but I don't know how to start up a GoFundMe. I think starting up the GoFundMe is actually the easy part. It's getting people to donate to it is the harder thing. You could always try live streaming motocross on Twitch as well. I feel like sometimes that can help. But yeah, I think the biggest thing with GoFundMes is more about the marketing side of things. So just post it, I suppose. Thanks for all the subscriptions, by the way. I didn't make her a cup of tea. I did cook dinner. That's wonderful. 41. Damn. You got a young ma. Thank you, Romani. Have you ever heard of Viva La Dirt League? Yes, I have absolutely heard of them. I'm a New Zealander myself, and so I actually came across Viva La Dirt League like over a decade ago, back when I used to have Facebook, and I would watch their board skits, essentially, rather than their game logic. I know a lot of people found them through their game logic, but I found them through board. And I still know of them today, and they also have the Viva La Dirt League Dungeons and Dragons, which is very good. So if you want to have a follow-up on why you bring up Viva La Dirt League, let me know, because I'm happy to chat about them. Enjoying the day. Nice to hear it, Night Warrior. Raven, yeah, have you heard of Viva La Dirt League? I wonder if Clem's heard of the Dungeon Master Robert Harley or anything. Thank you, C Mama, you flirt. Hi, kindness. It's good to see you. We do check in those cases, and yes, exactly. Nine Fox would have made sure, but I could tell immediately it was going to be a good one. Have you ever thought about trying to collab with them? Well, yes. The short answer is yes, but it's not really up to me to decide. And I don't think that I would necessarily have a place in their crew, essentially. They've already got a pretty full crew, and they don't need a little redhead running around. I would love to collab with them, don't get me wrong, but actually getting that opportunity is a whole nother thing. And I don't think I have a large enough audience myself to promote myself in that way as a benefit for them, if that makes sense. It's just a realistic thing, but I would love to I'd love to collab with them for sure. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, Dude Sharon Dildos came out with a new book. I just had to hear what that one was, but that one's fine. Oh my gosh, have you read it? I bet you have. I bet you read it every single night. I bet that you'll have to, you put that in both your hands and check that one out. Watching the new Dagger Heart campaign. Oh, very nice. Yeah, we just do a chill stream, exactly right. I'm going to be playing some video games later, but not on the channel that you are watching on. You can watch the games on Twitch, but here we're just yapping away and talking about random things. In fiction, sorry, not infliction. You're doing your first campaign with Daggerheart, and they introduced it. Hell yeah! I actually haven't seen any of their Daggerheart stuff yet. I must confess, so I still haven't wrapped up Adventures of Azarim. Those who don't know Viva La Dirt League won't know what I'm talking about, so I'll try and keep it succinct. I'm about, I think, 8 episodes from finishing it, even though it's almost been a year since it wrapped up. But the reason it's taken me so long to watch it is because I actually have been watching it consistently with a friend. And for those in the Twitch, this is Lexington. Lexington and I have been watching every single episode like a watch party for, 5 years almost? I caught up to where it was, and then for, I think, 4.5 years, Lexington and I have watched episodes. But because it's hard to coordinate, we don't necessarily, weren't able to watch it weekly because life gets in the way, etc. And so we only have 8 episodes left or so, but we haven't had a chance to, especially since I moved, we haven't had a chance to just sit down and finish the Adventures of Azarim. So I have to get around that, and then I can indulge in some of the other things. I like a chill and cozy stream. I'm glad to hear it. I'm looking forward to playing a couple Daggerheart one-shots next weekend. Yeah, I played Daggerheart with Lou Boffin when it was first coming out, and I had a lot of fun on that one. And so, but I haven't played it since, but it seems all right. I don't mind the system so much. How do you feel about Starmer? So I'm actually not a Brit, Jake. So I don't really know a lot of what's going on. So I'm a New Zealander, and so no matter how I feel about Starmer, I can't do anything about it because I can't vote in this country. But in terms of how I feel about him, I guess indifferent. I haven't really been paying attention. But I guess now that I live here, I only moved here 2 months ago. I'll probably incidentally see a little bit more of what's going on with UK politics. But in the meantime, because I know that you can still have an opinion on someone even if you can't vote in the country. So, for example, a lot of people have opinions on American politics, even if they're not American. But I don't really know what I would say about Starmer anyway. Of course, BB Mo, you already did ask something, so you can ask another question for free. I'll tell you what happened. No, yes, I will watch it when I can. Hi Sam, how you going? Daggerheart is pretty good, I do like it a lot. Yeah, it's just a little bit different. I really don't mind it, so I'm curious where people have gone with it, and I think that the team on Viva La Dirt League are very, very talented. Not just the dungeon master, but also the actual players. They're very funny and their improv is great, and it's just awesome. When you do finish it, some of the new campaigns are incredible. Yes, yeah. So I am very aware that they've got a great talent pool in their midst over at the Viva La Dirt League D&D. Well, Lexington actually. So, see, Mubba, here's a little extra context. Lexington got me onto Viva La Dirt League D&D. I only knew of their skit YouTube channel, but it was Lexington who introduced me to the D&D channel. So, so they take credit for Rob and I meeting. And you know what? I can't blame them for that, really. Daggerheart is a TTRPG that is heavy chances based, fair enough. More so than D&D because GMs have more control. I love the options when you have 0 HP and are dead. I'll have to look more into it. Like I said, I haven't really been, I haven't had a chance to play Daggerheart since since it first came out. But I've heard decent enough things, and a lot of people have been picking up Daggerheart as an alternative to D&D, and that to me shows that it's doing all right. Hi, how you going, Aria? Hopefully that is adequate for you. What you think about marriage? Oh, so I've spoken about this before, BB. I don't have interest in marriage because I'm not religious, and you can get married even if you're not religious, but a lot of the roots of marriage do have religious connotations. So, for example, you often get married by a priest, and that alone shows that there has a religious element to it. But there are a lot of different cultures that still practice marriage. My parents didn't get married till I was 10 or 11 years old. Around that age. And so therefore it was never a value that I saw as it was never a value that I had, because my parents were displaying commitment without being married, essentially. And so I do like the idea of a long-term life partner, but I feel like that doesn't need to be with marriage specifically. However, because of the law, marriage does sometimes allow for some benefits with taxes, or if you don't want to testify against someone in court. And so it's not something that I aspire to have, because for me it's more about the commitment with a partner rather than the marriage. And look no further than the high divorce rates. Even if you get married, that doesn't mean that you are going to have death until death do us part. And so therefore, it's, to me, a little bit more of a label. However, that being said, I think weddings are really beautiful. I really think that they are very gorgeous, and sharing your love for someone with other people you love, I think that's really beautiful. But for me specifically, it is not an indication of commitment to a person. That's the one. That's how I would say it. Yes, I am a real redhead. Despite the color of my eyebrows, I am a real redhead. Why do you think that society is screwed because of my values? Do you think that, David, if you are able to explain a little bit more about why you think that what I have said is a downfall of society? Because I feel like I was able to explain that I still like the idea of a long-term partner. So why do you feel like marriage has to be the ideal in that regard? So instead of talking about my opinion, I'm actually trying to ask what your opinion is. So you think that marriage is the way to make sure society is healthy. Is that correct? Is that something that you can help me understand? Because I feel like if you're able to explain to me, then maybe that can change my opinion, and maybe that will be something where I will put more value on marriage. But unless you explain a bit more, then I won't be able to learn from you. Okay. Lex is the reason you told... God damn it, Kiwi man. What's your favorite football team? Brentford Bees. I was the flower girl. Yes, I was indeed. Thank you, Todd. You have a wonderful weekend, in fact. I don't know what you mean by you look like an original person, but I'll take that as a compliment. Daggerheart's different enough to not really be a direct comparison to D&D. That was my impression as well. It's a tabletop role-playing game, but not like D&D. If you see me commit a crime, Clem, will you marry me to protect you? Yes, absolutely. In fact, let's get married before you commit the crime, just to really make sure that we can we can cover all our bases. Yeah, 100% of divorces happen because of marriages. Kiwi man boast. Strong families make strong societies. So why does it have to be marriage specifically to be a strong family? Because I would say that my family are a strong family, and like I said, my parents only got married when I was about 10 years old, but I had a great childhood beforehand. So why is it that marriage specifically is the indicator of a strong family? Because I'm not so sure about it has worked historically. When you look at the high divorce rates, I think that that it might be dismissing a little bit of the divorce rates as well. Oh, so David, I think that's where the confusion is coming from, is I'm not talking about kids with single households. I think we're talking about two different things. So I'm not talking about children being from single households, because I completely agree with you. I think that children from a household that has not only two parents, but like a network outside of that with grandparents, aunties, uncles, cousins, you know, the tribe. However, why would there not be a strong family if a family has children, for example, even if they're not married? Oh, so what country are you from? Sorry, David. Yeah, it takes a village, exactly. Household with no married parents, bad for children. Even if the parents are both in the child's life. Oh, but couldn't your child or a child feel like their parents would be together even without marriage specifically? Okay, a marriage means something. So what does a marriage mean in your mind? So like a marriage means commitment, is that what you're implying? So see, Mama said that her kids are definitely better in a single household, and in fact 2 households. There we go. Marriage sometimes more based on religion. There are other forms of marriage throughout cultures and history. For instance, hand fasting, that's a good point, is not recognized as marriage, but the bond is there. So you think marriage is a commitment. So do you feel that people cannot commit to one another unless it's with marriage? Is that correct? Because that's basically what I'm just trying to understand, is if that's how you feel. So 2 people cannot commit to one another unless it's marriage. Is that how you feel? And this is also true. That's why I looked up. Divorce was first accessible in England through 1857 Matrimonial Causes Act. So it was technically legal, but it was definitely difficult. Thanks, Ian. We'll see you next time. So would you commitment to being with me for life if I asked you? Well, we'll have to get to know each other more, BB, before I can answer that one. Also, hi, Quacker. I saw you pop in. I just want to find love. Well, you can't guarantee that you'll find it with me, but it's something that should be looked at of learning people more before we commit lifetime. Having a partner in life would be so cool, but I'm too fucked up for that, 9Fox. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hi, Autoloon. Good to see you. Thank you. Yes, one that we've had before. So Princess says, I'm definitely anti-relationship and marriage. I was mentally checked out dating my ex-girlfriend for a month. Oh, you poor thing. But at least you know that, right? And then that can help you with future relationships, whatever type of relationship that looks like. Hi, SK. Good morning, Nicholas. Okay. High divorce rate equals internet cheating. I don't know if you're proper banned on YouTube, Boba. That's one for the mods. It looks like David may have checked out. Mods, you didn't ban David, right? I feel like that might be indication that they decided they were perhaps not used to the spotlight. I'll give them a few more seconds. I'm a New Zealander in answer to those 2 questions. I'm a New Zealander, but I'm living in England now. Yeah, no one is saying that a commitment is impossible outside of marriage, but except for David. That's why I asked that question, and then they didn't seem that they could answer it. Oh, nonetheless, hopefully that will give them an opportunity to reflect, because they realize that they had questions that they didn't have answers to, and only they can decide on that for them. And that is what I try to achieve around here when I have people who disagree with me. I just let them talk about it themselves. Exactly. And that's when they bowed out, right? That was the question I posed. Oh, no, they said that, yes, that is the only way to commit. Anyhow. I I'm married to myself and we get along great. How does that work in the tax side of things, though? Anyway, let me catch up with a few of these other things because you guys had some great ones. Imagine a piece of paper being what is the strong part of society, and that's the thing is it's like actions speak louder than words, right? Marriage does seem more based on religion as well, but it doesn't have to be. You got it. The hand fasting is such a good example. Hand fasting is done just between the partners in that moment. No witness, no floral arrangements, just a promise between partners. That's beautiful. Mark said, I've been married for 28 years. Holy crap. That's incredible. You must absolutely be doing something right. And I feel like someone like yourself would be able to speak to David more than us. It's not about not for people. There's too much temptation for everyone with the internet. It's not about for people there is too much temptation for. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Stu Haven. So if you want to explain more about what you meant by the temptation on the internet, then you're welcome to. If you're not here, then ignore me because you can't hear me anyway. Divorce, divorce was one of the King Henrys created the Anglican church so that they could get divorced. You don't need a contract to be in a committed relationship. Well, David seems to think so, but they're not here anymore because I think they realize that either one, they think all of us are stupid and there's nothing we can do about that, or two, they realize that they were stupid because they realized the logic on the other side of the argument. And no one here is saying you shouldn't get married. I think that that's also the thing that someone like this individual neglects to address is I wasn't saying that people shouldn't get married. I was asked what my opinion was on marriage. Yeah, you guys can say people shouldn't get married. But I think that's what I find very disingenuous is I think I pose a pretty clear perspective of where I am. And that I even said I think weddings are beautiful. And so on and so forth, but they read what they want to read, and hopefully they will reflect by understanding their own perspective more. Been with my wife for 13 years. We didn't marry until 8 years into it. Marriage was beneficial choice for benefits and taxes. And Bambino, that's exactly what I said as well, is I find that marriage, and so my opinion on marriage was exactly that, is you don't need marriage for commitment, but it can be beneficial. Okay, scrolling. Just gonna quickly get through here. Upper class English, not quite. Yeah, Kiwi, you guys got it. What kinds of new structures of relationships are possible? Well, polyamory is now becoming more of a thing. Not something that I personally practice, but I know quite a number of people who are in open relationships or polyamorous relationships, and that seems to be going okay. Oh, David, you're back. I'm not sure if you were listening to any of that, but I noticed that you didn't want to answer the question I had. So is there anything that you would like to add? I don't get it. So that's why I'm asking David. Oh, never mind. They're gone. They're proper gone. David, I know that you can't speak, but that is why I asked the questions so that you could explain to us what we don't get. Like, how can we now follow your logic unless you help us understand it? Because don't you think that someone who is now saying you're an idiot, society's fucked because of people like you, don't you think that's going to make us just stay in our position? Don't you think that will not help us understand? Whereas if you said, I think these things, then maybe that would given all of us here an opportunity to change our mind. But instead you wanted to just lead with hate and put us down rather than help us with your ideology, basically. Anywho, yeah, women having thoughts. They did bring up feminism. So one of the things they said is just say you're a feminist while you're at it. I don't really know what they mean by that, but nonetheless. I do have a knee. It's hot today. And so to the individual who said, you're too hot, I am indeed. That's why I got my knees out. People need to have morals and look in the mirror and think more about others than themselves. Well, apparently that's an impossible task for some people. Oh, but do you know what's so funny is a person like this individual is that they think that they're considering others. So their argument, for example, was about how society is fucked because people aren't getting married. And so in their mind, they are thinking about others. They are thinking about society. They are thinking about kids and how kids should be making sure to have this strong family connection because of marriage. And that is the kind of thing that really can blindside people, is because they think that they're doing a just cause, you know? Okay. If marriage was so vital, how did we start as a species? But that's a kind of argument where the person like that would say, yeah, well, you can see that it didn't work because of single households, etc. Hey, Ginger! Hi, Housegate. Well, a pleasure. Even if you're a halfie, I still accept all gingers. Okay. Be someone sexy who someone else is attracted to. Hot. They're blaming feminism. I doubt somewhat that they'll reflect on anything said here. Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Is that they will dismiss everything I say because of how they view women already. And I am aware of that, but I will still do my best, even if that means banging my head against a wall in the process. Yeah, a companion. A companion's nice. I can't remember if this has been asked before, but what are your thoughts around the legal side of being married? For example, next of kin in an accident. Oh, yes, yeah. And so that's something that I very briefly touched on, is I can see a lot of the legal benefits. And in that case, I understand it. But it's not relevant to me right now because I still would need someone that I am in a long-term, lifetime committed relationship with. Before I would have to be like, hey, do you want to get married for the legal side of things? I decided grandparents who never married and got together in their 20s stay together for the rest of their lives. That's so beautiful. If God isn't involved, it's blasphemy. That's a good point, Nine Fox. Thank goodness someone is finally speaking the truth. I wish for us to get to 28 years. We're currently at 9. Ooh, good luck. Okay, I feel like divorce occurs in a series of circumstances or situations, but it starts and ends with the two of you, which means whatever ends or saves the relationship, it's up to the two of you. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that some relationships are better off split, but that it's very admirable when they try to make it work, because I do think that with divorce, sometimes it can be easy is not the word, because anyone who's going through a divorce knows that divorce is not easy. Even a split is not easy. But it can be the way out rather than trying to work on a relationship. And that's why I don't necessarily marriage doesn't solve a relationship either. My first mistake was assuming you could have an intelligent conversation on the internet. No. I wasn't thinking I'd have an intelligent conversation. I just wanted David to try to give an argument, and they didn't want to have an argument. They just wanted to attack me. I haven't seen the Michael Jackson movie, no. Okay. Anyone that says feminism is wrong is literally saying no one should be equal. Exactly. So you have to be pro-feminism unless you're not pro-equality. And let's be real, there are a lot of people who are in that boat. So let's not go too down that line of thinking. Okay, let me see if there is other stuff. My advice is get a vasectomy and a sweet portion by 21. And don't forget to invest $10,000 into the stock when you're 19 as well. Okay, people. Yeah, the if you told me what I believed hurt people, I'd consider it. That is why you feminazis. That's not a complete sentence. Or are you saying that is why we are feminazis? Use that against. Wait, you feminazis use that against conservatives. If you told me what I believed hurt people, I'd consider it. I feel like this one has come in without necessarily me understanding what they're talking about, but maybe they could do the same for me. So Sergeant Squared, if you're still around, do you want to explain a little bit more about what you mean by the receiver is wrong, not the speaker? Like what was being said that was wrong? I just need to keep up with what you're saying, and then we can figure it out. Hi, Kaka. Hi, Maori boy. Yeah, so Sergeant Squad has just been saying a bunch of stuff, but I'm not exactly sure what they're referencing. If they're saying that David should have been leading by example, or that I should be leading by example. And in that case, what example do they think that I am not setting? If Amelia Earhart became a man, do you think she would have returned and not have crashed her plane into the ocean? No, I think that if she were a man, it would have the exact same outcome, but that they wouldn't be in the history books like Amelia Earhart, because there are a lot of pilots that are male pilots that did not come back from their trips, but we don't hear about them because of the vast whereas Amelia Earhart being a woman is what made her different, and that's why we know about hers rather than about the many men who did not survive their trips. If the divorce is messy, like abuse is involved, divorce is definitely warranted, for sure. Absolutely. In fiction, I think you know exactly what's going on. Morals regretting how many times I screwed up, also regretting naming my dog up. That is disgusting. Tommy, how dare you make me read this? I've been with my man for 20 years and I'm not married. I left England to be with him very early on. That's beautiful. And moving an entire country for them, that is gorgeous. Finding love, a partner, companion can be found in any form. That's up to you. And I've said this a lot, is a lot of people put a lot of focus on marriage and romantic relationships and forget that platonic relationships, i.e. non-romantic relationships, are very important to foster as well. Your partner should not be everything. You should have friends. You should have other people who you can lean on outside of your partner. Marriage is a construct that has been used against us financially. Ooh, the wedding industry, jewelry industry, and many more have turned marriage into a huge scam. Yes, I completely agree that capitalism has gotten involved. I do think there's a cultural aspect if you look at other cultures and how large those weddings are. But by the same token, so say in Asian cultures, the weddings, it is customary for guests to bring like money. And so I think in that case, it starts to not even out, but it does feel like this expenses can be covered a little bit. And divorce being an industry as well. That is a very interesting take. Yeah. No, I can see this. But that's why I think that for people who marry for legal reasons, where it doesn't have to necessarily be for the wedding itself, that's so fine as well. Asking to ask a question always goes well, for sure. You are absolutely welcome to ask a question, but keep in mind that I'm just catching up with the chat, so I might not read it immediately. Marry me? Fine. You've pulled my leg, if we must. So I'm a New Zealander American muscle, just in answer to your question. The more I care about myself, says Autolune, and care about others, the more I sincerely hope we can live our lives as authentically as possible. Unfortunate for me to whatever age I am now to even contemplate, but better late than never, I suppose. Yeah, I think that Sergeant Squared didn't get banned, but they might not still be here. So they said end feminazism. I actually completely agree. I think that there are a lot of feminists who are not true feminists, and I'm happy to call those feminazis. I think that's actually quite a funny little play on words and a surprising word that I've not come across before. But I know that just like a lot of, let's say, religions, I always use that as an example. There are a bunch of Christians that take it too far, and there are even more Christians who just live their life and don't impart their views and force others to believe what they believe. And so there are absolutely feminazis who fall in that. I wish I could do a backflip. That would be amazing. Okay. Hey, Fred! No, Starmer's still in office as far as I'm aware. Would you sign a prenuptial agreement? Yes, yeah. I absolutely, if I was dating someone that would prefer me to sign a prenuptial, then I agree. I don't have any issues with that. I think people will make assumptions on prenuptials, and that a lot of women in particular would be uncomfortable signing them because they feel like they have a view of women being, let's say, gold diggers. But I think that if you feel like you are going to be in a long-term committed relationship, a prenuptial doesn't matter, whereas other people will argue that it does matter. But I think that it makes sense, and for a lot of people, and for a modern age as well, it can actually protect women's assets too, because in the past, a lot of women weren't working, and so that's why they would get half of their husband's or their ex-husband's money to help sustain them even after a divorce, because they often wouldn't be in work. But nowadays, we have a lot of women who are working and have their own money, their own income, their own stocks, and so the prenuptials can aid the women as well. My cat tore up a napkin while I was sleeping. Oops. Yeah, hopefully that was all they did. Some people think their opinion is the only option as well. Yeah, it sucks. There are people still paying off their wedding day. Yes, there's the capitalism as well. Hey. Yeah, it is. I guess it's the weekend. It's the freaking weekend. Hey. We shouldn't have to tell why women should be shown equal respect and value. Men should already know. If Red Dead Redemption 2, a game by Rockstar, which is got so much like masculinity in it, can even have the suffragettes as a point of focus, then I think that guys in our 2026 year can also respect equality for women. Oh, that's also true. I am also responsible for the downfall of society. That is a big ask from me, but I'll do it. Hi from Cape Town. Hell yeah. Our South Africa is very beautiful. My brain is currently singing to the tune of Tragedy, Misogyny. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, thank you, Charlene. I hope you're having a good end of your week as well. Divorce is an industry. Oh yeah, that's the industry. Venues get very upset if you book exactly how you would for a wedding, but call it a family function. They miss out on the wedding tax. I didn't know that. That's ridiculous. Yeah, every ideology has extremism, and it sucks. It wasn't just that Earhart's a woman. She was the first person to cross the Atlantic by herself. Oh, is that also another one? Thank you so much for the clarification, War. That's really, that makes sense why she's got a lot of fame as well. Our kids will now know that one fated Twitch chat message started the greatest romance ever. You heard it. You heard it here, folks. You can all be invited to the wedding. We'll live stream it as long as my fiancé agrees to it. Going to try to marry my Canadian bestie for Canadian citizenship. I've actually heard of people marrying platonically, but I don't know if it is a common thing. I wish I could do a backflip. I wish I could do a backflip. Look, I'll do something if I catch up with chat. Thank you, Sunbeam. Yeah, I think we're doing it right. Messi is my answer. Oh, no, Ronaldo or Messi. Chris Wood. People at the fringes of any sort of group are always a little dodge for sure. I did a backflip and broke my neck. Oh my God. Is there a dating update? I don't really like talking about my personal life is all. And it's just basically because I don't want to subject my, the people that I'm dating. That is not the correct terminology. I don't like to bring them into the online space, especially if things don't work out. Then it just kind of is just all hidden behind the scenes. I can tell you that I was dating someone last year and it didn't work out, and that's all there was to it. We tried and it didn't work, and I am glad that it wasn't publicized. Hi Raiders, I just need to finish my thought process. I'm glad it wasn't publicized, especially because it didn't work out. It's just nice to kind of keep that offline and not make a big deal of it. It's just what I do in my own time. And so similarly, even if things are going well, I still like to keep that separate to online. Good morning, Goku. How you going? And Raiders, welcome on in. How was your stream, Les? How you doing? We're talking about marriage. Oh no, it's a big one. Yeah, it's been an interesting one. Let's put it that way. Are you Wi-Fi? Because I'm feeling a connection. One of the first same-sex marriages in New Zealand was for residency before they changed the law, though. Cis woman and a trans woman. Gorgeous. I can't imagine spending so much money to pay less taxes. Well, you don't have to have a wedding to get married. You can go to the civil, what's it called? The civil office. Anyway, you can go to the office and just get a marriage certificate. You can't practice the no true Scotsman fallacy regarding what you consider to be a true version of whatever group you're talking about, for instance, Christians or feminists. That's a good way of putting it. I only recently learned what true Scotsman is, so look at you knowing your fallacies. Blair thinks that we have equality already. I guess that would become a question of what do you define as equality versus issues, because yes, I could say that there are a lot of things that have changed that a lot of people actually don't acknowledge. So for example, if you're like, well, you now have the equal right to vote and so therefore you have equality, whereas others might say that we don't have equality because of the increased how am I going to say this lightly, the violence that happens against women, or rather the violent crimes that are committed is very much skewed by men, and so wanting to bring that down. Although I did see a very funny Instagram that was basically like, women, you got to step up your game and start committing more crimes. And that's the kind of crass humor that I do find very hilarious. It's like, well, you guys want equality, and yet the men are out here committing this ridiculously high percentage of crimes. Women, if you want equality, step your game up. Yeah, chin wag and commit sin, wag chin and commit sin. But I know it's more about bringing the crime down, please. Oh my goodness. Yes, exactly, Raven. Exactly. We got to get onto it quick start. The concept of marriage and divorce was simpler among Norsemen in the 8th and 9th century. Women had more autonomy than they did now. What happened? Well, I guess the Nordics are a little bit different as well. So there probably would have been some religious aspects that came into it, and rather than because the Norse, maybe I don't know, Nine Fox, if you can weigh in on this one, but did they have a strong like Christianity up there? Because I know that a lot of people think about the Norse gods, but I'm not sure when Christianity would have made its way up north. But I wouldn't have thought 8th and 9th century because of all of the stuff that was happening in UK would have been after that with the Viking battles and whatnot. I used to like going out late at night and pooping in random places. Wow. Like park benches and tables and down slides and parking lots. Random places. I was a serial pooper, which led to my divorce. I feel like at least I would hope that you would understand why your marriage didn't work out. But, you know, I feel like there's a crime element to that. And as long as you were married, they couldn't testify against you. Okay. Catching up. Where is this one? I must have missed. Okay. What is your favorite romance novel? I don't think I've ever read a romance novel other than Twilight. Hilarious. So I don't think that I'll be able to answer that one because I don't really read in general. Yeah, and see, that's a thing, Fred. So people, if they are dating a content creator, they wouldn't necessarily want to be in the content themselves. And a lot of people, especially people who are dating female content creators, they will make that out like the woman is trying to like farm simps. But the reality is it's just about privacy. I also am AI and don't have a real life, so that's also a good point that nothing happens offline. So how could I have an update until someone's prompted me to have an update? Stuff paying for a wedding, rather put it towards travel. Exactly. I always said that it would be fun to elope if I were to get married, because then you kind of had the honeymoon and the marriage, and then you just keep it nice and simple. Oh, Palia, very nice. I hope you had fun, Les. I haven't listened to the Drake album, no. Okay, just scrolling. Germany, hello! Wie geht es dir? Clem doesn't want the plethora of people she's dating to find out about each other. That's the one, Goku. That's the one. Hi, Scott Summers. Here's my cheesy Kiwi pickup line. Are you a sharp cheddar? Because you look tasty. That's cute. I like it. This is why we are engaged, after all. I can go to Dundler Mifflin. I don't even know what that is, Cody Cameron. I don't know what that is. I don't know who Dave Mustaine is as well. Okay, Australia and Canada are friendly places. Yeah, for sure. For sure. The lowest crime rate is on Mother's Day. Is that true? Yeah, all the mothers are busy. They're not out committing crimes. Thanks, Ben. Benjamin. The sole victims? Oh, got it. Men are also the sole victims of violent crime when you stop looking at it as men are the monolith is the same demographic of violent criminals committing crimes against innocent men and women. Yes, and so I think that when I brought up crimes, I tried to make sure that it was suggesting that the men are doing crimes. I felt like I corrected myself in that because I do understand that because the crimes against men are also men. Not that that makes it any better, but hopefully that I was able to correct myself of making sure to explain that it was about the men's committing crimes rather than who the victims are. Thanks, Bimo. No, I don't have a fever. It's just a meme that comes from Christopher Walken. Anyway, do a backflip. Okay, I will. Australia already has a good life and job opportunities. Australia is a very good place to live, yeah. Oh, and better than Canada. I will take your word for it. As a larger fella, I've often enjoyed the bliss of not being bothered on the street by robbers or vagrants. I do realize now after a few years that women have it very different, for sure. And so that is why I said, like, to the person who said you have equality, if they want to argue things about equality versus not equality, then, but they're not here anyhow. Christianity took over in about 1100s. That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be in the quadruple digits. Kings got influenced by the English ones, and especially when there would have been, marriages with the monarchies as well. The Christianity among Norsemen came later. Funnily enough, the introduction of Christianity in that region and the concept of stricter marriage appeared before Christianity. There we go. Okay. My favorite idea is to have an engagement party and then get married at the party. No pressure, just fun. I like that. That's cute. Yes, Deezy, thank you so much as well. Dunder Mifflin is the company in the office. Thank you. A woman who committed adultery within Norseman community would be easier to prove her innocence than within the rules of Christianity. Damn, okay. Well, we're talking about marriage, HD, in answer to your question. The original Greek meaning of repent is metanioa, which translates to changing or renewing the mind or to let go. There's a lot more wisdom in East or West text by proper translations. I like that. Megadeth. I don't really know Megadeth. How did Norse weddings work? You're basically single, but you pick one particular person to cuddle with when it's cold. I like to believe that that's how it worked. In Nuremberg, like with the racing. You said we could go to the office. Oh, I understand. And that's why you go to Dunder Mifflin. Thank you for explaining the joke. Now that we understand the joke, it's a lot funnier. Okay. All right, everyone. We're gonna end the conversation there. And then I'm going to play some games. So if you guys want to stick around, join Twitch because that is the best place to watch gameplay. And if you guys have enjoyed yourself, this is basically what I do 5 days a week. So make sure to subscribe and come join live streams in the future. And we might talk more about marriage or we'll talk about something else. So first I need to do a backflip. Let me see what I can do for you today. If I move this, I can only do a backwards roll. Bonzu! And I don't think I have the space for this. Do I actually? You're saying I have a booger in my nose? I think my nostrils actually look pretty clean today. What do you reckon? Usually, I feel like they're pretty clean. You know? Anyway. Thanks, Goku. And thanks, Dealing. It's good to have you here. Don't hurt yourself. Well, we'll find out. Oh my god, there's so much hair on the ground. I need a vacuum. Okay. Let's see what we can do, huh? Thank you, Goku. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like they were pretty clean nostrils. Okay. You won't be able to see the backflip. But just pretend, yeah, I was like, I genuinely, I thought I'd give them an opportunity to be right. If I did have a booger, then I could have cleaned it out. Trust that it's a backflip. Very, very real backflip. Very, very, very real. You just couldn't see it. Because it was the off camera is all. Thank you. So I did my best. You got the quickest glance of little toesies as well. I have to get a second camera. Thanks, guys. I thought it was great. A stealth backflip, exactly. Jesus Christ. I tell you what. Hold on, just let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. Give me an opportunity to tell you what, okay? Don't live with someone with long hair, okay? That is the what of which I tell you. Don't live with someone with long hair because it is everywhere. I tell you what. Bro! So the vacuum cleaner broke. The vacuum cleaner is dead at the moment. So I cannot vacuum clean all of the hair and it's anyway, it's everywhere. And because I think the problem is that when I'm up here for 5 hours a day and I'm going like this, yeah, I think we need to shave the hair. I think it's time. But I think because I keep on going like this, or I'll go like this, or maybe I'll go like this, and then I'll start going like this, right? And it just ends up here. And anyway, I tell you what. My daughter comes over for a couple hours. I'm finding hair for weeks. It's a one, exactly. But thank you, Dirge. In answer to the question about the desk, I'm very happy. I haven't really had to make any changes for a while. So actually, I haven't updated everyone on the desk situation. I ended up getting a second monitor. I don't think I really spoke about it. I was using a TV for a second monitor, and it was just so bad that I went, nope, not happening. So I do have 2 monitors now. Got my camera. I got this guy holding my controller. So that's worked out. I got my PlayStation. So I've basically got 2 shelves. So I've got my PC on one shelf, which is a bigger one. And then on the second shelf, I have my PlayStation. I've got my Nintendo dock around there, but it's not plugged in at the moment. I have an extra modem now that I've plugged my Ethernet cable in. So I have a stronger internet connection. Yeah, it's a pretty good little system. I got my mic on. Yeah, he's cute. Hey. So I think that my desk setup's pretty great. Ahoy! I can't do the noises. Yeah, it's a good little system. Very happy. So it's good. Anyway, so that's my little guy. I do have a Spyro one as well, but I find that Banjo holds it better. So that's why I have Banjo here in the meantime. Yeah, it's the first game I ever played, Dirge. My Crash Bandicoot is actually needing a little fix up as well because it broke in transition to the UK. And then my Spyro one, he holds it okay, but not as sturdily as Banjo does. He could be Italian and the hair could grow insanely fast. That's a good point. I've realized a fun game to play with my lag is trying to figure out what Clemmer said to prompt particular comments. That's very funny. Yeah, so the long hair also always blocks the shower. However, Mr. Pat, I will have a counter argument of that. I am very good at cleaning up the shower drain. It's one of the things that I think is incredibly important and is my responsibility with my long hair is every single time I wash my hair, I always immediately collect any hair that has fallen out in the shower, and especially around the drain. If you do that every single shower, then you will not have issues with the shower drain. It's people who leave it over time and let it build up. That's when it gets really gloopy and gross. But I know that it is my responsibility to clean up after myself. So I am very good at making sure to go do that immediately after my shower. No waiting around. It's the best way to do it. I have a roommate that does have long hair. Preaching to the choir, I've tried to make him take the hint to clean up after himself, and he doesn't get it. And yes, and I hope also that people realize that I was pretty good at saying people with long hair, because I know that it is not exclusive to my gender. And then Boba, yeah, if I can swear. I think, oh, there we go. This is one. You know, no pain till one of those strays somehow gets around your man stuff and tugs from out of the blue. Ah, that sounds so gnarly. Ay. I've only recently learned who that is. Oh, with Master Chief, because Adulta. That's awesome. Hi, Chunkaroo. Okay, not smart enough for that. Well, now you know. So in answer to why I moved to the UK, I just wanted to travel Europe, and it's very hard to travel Europe from Australia, as you know. Charlotte, you're from Australia, right? Did I get? Yes, you are. Perfect. So I have a decent memory, but sometimes I doubt it, I suppose. But I'm pretty confident that you said you were from Australia. And as someone from Australia, you know how expensive it would be to get a flight to Europe. And so that's why I feel like a lot of Aussies or New Zealanders, when they go to Europe, they often will do like several months and do backpacking across it. I am soft girl. I'm not a big fan of doing the long backpacking trips. I like having a base where I can come back to have my comforts of home, and then I can go for like a week away or a weekend away rather than 6 months away. And so I chose to move to Europe, and the visa situation for UK is a lot easier. And now I can just jump on a plane and head to a nearby country and go explore that. So it's awesome. Hi, Neshi.
Holy 50 months.
That is insanity. Absolutely insanity. Hey, Neshi, are you going to go to PAX Australia again this year? Because I am thinking that I might try and head over if I can get some flights. So let me know, and we'll be able to hang out again. Hi, Rishel. How you going? What's this live stream about? Basically, we read messages from the live chat, and we discuss. And so we spent about an hour well, maybe not that long, but almost an hour talking about marriage just earlier. And that was because someone asked about marriage, and then we talked about it. So sometimes we'll talk about movies. Other times we'll talk about games. Other times we'll learn about caterpillar snakes and snake caterpillars. We always find something to talk about. Why are you gay? Mr. Maddock, who says I am gay? You are gay.
I'm doing my part.
Fred also knows exactly what Boba was talking about in terms of the hair around sensitive areas. How about we say that? And Jacob's from Australia too. G'day, mate. My big brother did that. He's who I stayed with when I came over to Europe in 2008. Traveling from London to anywhere in Europe, so easy. The thing is that it's even cheaper if you are going from London Stansted. That's basically in between London and Cambridge, so northeast side. That's where all the super cheap flights are with Ryanair. But that particular airport is quite far from me since I'm on southwest, the complete opposite end. But even so, sometimes the flights are that much cheaper. So for example, my Copenhagen trip, I'm going to be flying into London Stansted and then taking a train all the way from there to Southampton, which will take like 3 hours or something. But the train and the flight are that much cheaper that it's way better to do that and kind of just find some, like maybe read a book on the train rather than try to get from London or even Southampton. Hi, Alwynma. NX, howdy. Okay, almost wrapped up. Do Americans eat human meat? I hope not. But I can't answer because I am not American, nor do I know the comings and goings of every single American in America. Bonfires, fishing, chopping wood. Oh, that sounds awesome. Born in South Africa. Oh my God. Lived in New Zealand. Currently chilling in Perth, Australia. That's awesome. I went to South Africa in February and I loved it. I just stayed on the Western Cape, but I genuinely want to go back. I had such a great time. So that's cool. And then you went to New Zealand too. Oh, you're just covering the Tri-Nations there, aren't you? And Perth would be beautiful. I still have to visit Perth at some point. Not going this year. You're good, Neshi. Maybe when I look at flights, if one goes through Singapore, I'll hit you up. How about that? Why is your face? Why is your face? Okie dokie. From Luton. I don't know Luton. Yeah, but Gatwick are... Oh, is that Luton? I don't know where Luton is. But Gatwick, I've done a few flights from Gatwick. You subscriber. Thank you, Michael. Watching that annual video posts. They are masterpieces. Oh, shit. I have to plan my next one. I only have a few weeks. I actually did have an idea. I just have to organize it. Thank you, James. Much appreciated. Are you following the Kiwis for the football WC20? No, I haven't been watching football in my entire life, so I won't be changing for the World Cup. But I know Chris Wood. He plays for Nottingham in their EPL, so I know at least one New Zealander. I still say you should get a can of Copenhagen just for shits and giggles. I will see how I feel when I'm there because I'm actually going back in August as well. Thank you, Andy. I hope you're having an amazing day as well. Oh, and you know what? An even better weekend. Back in my day, there was only Heathrow, yeah, but they had way too much going on there. So now there's Heathrow, Gatwick, and Stansted, plus all the other ones. But Stansted is where all the cheapy Ryanair ones come in and out. I'm going to head to bed. Yeah, I'm going to swap over to games, so it's a good time to head off. But it was really a pleasure chatting with you, Dealing in Fiction. Thank you so much for hanging out. And hopefully we can talk more Daggerheart in the future. Celsius, hi. Hello, Yankee. You think I'm a Yankee? Where are you off to next? So I'm going to Copenhagen mid-June for my 30th birthday. Can't wait. And then I am playing Pokemon there. And then in July, I'm going to Spain. And then I am going back to Copenhagen in August. And then I'll go from there to Iceland to see the total eclipse this year. And I've never seen a total eclipse, so I really hope the weather's okay. Hi, Cobra. What content is this? We just yap. We just yap to the people who I want to yap. My citizenship is still safe for now. Sometimes wonder if I should pack up shop in New Zealand and move to London. I mean, you could. Completely up to you. You just see how you feel, Steezy. No, you mull it over some more. Maybe it's something that you could do for a few months. I don't know what your work situation is, but it's pretty cool to be close to Europe, as you know. Sports are a distraction from the bigger picture. Romans gave the people a circus to keep them entertained, didn't they? Ooh. I have not considered the controlling of the masses. That's a good one. Yes, I am still in Southampton. I will be here indefinitely until I get kicked out. Of course, I've tried Vegemite. I love Vegemite. Vegemite is delicious. Total eclipse of the heart, indeed. Yeah, I didn't want to assume Steezy's age or anything, but the youth mobility scheme visa. Ah, that's right. Yes, you have the citizenship. Of course. You said that even just today. But yeah, getting work. But I guess with a citizenship, at least you wouldn't have to worry about getting work on arrival if you have some savings. But just mull it over. Consider, instead of thinking about the things that London and Europe could offer, think about if you're happy with where you are at the moment, because that might be a way of looking at it. Like the things that you would miss out on. For me, I love being close to my parents. That's something that is a little tough for me. But I didn't have any friends in New Zealand, so it was very easy for me to leave the country. And so I think that could be something. Think about the things that you would miss if you leave New Zealand and go from there. I think I'm the only American who loves British accents. No, I don't think you're alone in that one, but could be wrong about it. Yeah, my travel plans. Sometimes I can't even believe that they are happening. And then I'm like, wait, we manifested this. Thanks, Dirge. It didn't last long with the citizenship revoked. Hi, Thanos. Okay, where's our bread? It was bread and circuses. That's where the distraction was. I need to get me some Vegemite now that I know where to get Tim Tams. I could potentially check there for it. That sounds like a good plan. For sure. Hi, Gherkins. Yeah, exactly. We love British accent, but my accent's not a very strong British accent because I have the Kiwi inflections too. A fox? I like it, especially with the red hair. When you come into the USA, I really would like to visit the USA again, but I can't imagine that will be anytime soon because I moved across the world so that I could see more of Europe rather than to see more of America or USA or Canada or Mexico, the other way. But I do have some people in the US that I really want to see in person. So I think I'd be sooner to go to the East Coast than I would the West Coast or Central as well. But it's not going to be this year. It might not even be next year. So 2027 or 2028, depending on opportunities. However, if you guys make sure to like and subscribe and help me really pop the fuck off on YouTube, maybe I'll be earning enough to pop over to America. I don't know. Maybe I'll get, we don't know. But what we do know is that it's worth trying. So like and subscribe on YouTube. And, if you're on Twitch, make sure to lurk whenever you see me live. Let me get that ad revenue. Don't reckon New Zealand, because of health problem, I think would be a bit ripe to take the issue to the UK. Okay, yeah, that does start making it a little bit more complex. But at least you, as a citizen, you'd have access to the NHS and whatnot, but without knowing the health problem. I'm sure that if you're struggling with that in New Zealand, it's not exactly going to be easy in UK either. But I'm sure that you are able to make all of these decisions and think about it. I think that at your age, though, that's still like, not that you can't move at any age, but that feels like a nice young age to still try and do something different, you know? That's life. They're not always going to be around. Enjoy the time you do have with them. Exactly right. It'll cost less per person to make it their problem in the UK. Exactly right. Yeah. I need to catch up on my New Zealand politics, especially with the vote this year. Anyhow, yeah, just think about it, and remember, you don't have to make any decisions. You just think about it some more. You can maybe you'll find that the dreaming you start to want to make a reality. Yeah, I'm in the right hemisphere, exactly. I think that going to the East Coast is actually very easy. London, New York, for example. That is a support system I would need to be working. Ah, yes, that is a very good point for sure. But I'm sure you'll figure it out, Steezy. You got this. End up in burger. It's ridiculous. American is kind of better scenery than Europe. It didn't have people industrializing every inch for tens of centuries, only a couple centuries. I do agree that there's some gorgeous parts of America, but there's also some amazing parts of Europe. And I would say that Europe, especially when I was in Austria, something that I noticed is that the integration, and I think this is the same up north, and Nine Fox can correct me if, but I feel like it's pretty accurate, is that there's a lot of these older villages that are integrated into the environment in a non-industrialized capacity, and so it can be really beautiful because it really shows the marriage of marriage, trigger word, the marriage of humans and environments, and that synergy, that's a good word, that and how that can be possible of living in the mountains and having this gorgeous landscape without rather than paving down a whole bunch of trees and dominating the landscape. It's rather about integrating into the landscape. Whereas I think that there are places where that just becomes really hard, and in the US as well. Anyway, top of the morning, I'm a star. Yeah, the family would be a tough one. I definitely understand that. 35 is a young age. Thank you, Steezy. Yes, exactly. I got to flatter you. Oh, my electoral details, I am absolutely all on top of. That is one thing that I did make sure to be very on top of. So I have no troubles with my electoral details. I will get all of the info there. Yes, and that's another thing, Odyssey, is a lot of people are not keen on the USA, and I completely understand that. We're just talking about travel in general, Brendan. Oh, you want to go to the US? Do you have somewhere in the US you want to go? Oh, wait, I shouldn't ask these questions because I'm meant to be playing games. Yeah, and that is why America is so rich, because of the resources as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can look into in economy, and China is another example. They've got a whole bunch of biomes and stuff. It's very impressive. France, very cool. Yeah, I still have to visit France again. I've technically been to France, but I was quite young, so I'd like to see it as an adult. Not necessarily Paris, but just France in general. Ah, and you have family who are French. That's beautiful, for sure. Exactly, Nine Fox. That's how most people live. The houses are in one place and the industry is in another. And that to me was quite obvious in Austria in particular. Get your point, and also have public transport in Europe, for sure. Lots of buses in particular that go from city to city. Yeah, there's some beautiful landscapes, but that's just the world in general. I'm originally from New Zealand, Axeman. 6'7" indeed. 33, and I can't believe I stayed in one place so long. Big wake-up call. Definitely plotting the globe as a lifestyle now. That's wonderful. Yeah, and I think that I've kind of hit a similar situation. Is I wanted to travel, which is why I'm doing it. That doesn't mean I can't go back, but I'm definitely wanting to dedicate a couple of my years of to travel. Yes, I still haven't played it, Billy, so that's one that I have to do. It is absolutely a coincidence because I am older than the game itself, but nonetheless, my name predates the game. How about that? Thank you, Odyssey. Resources that America steals from other countries? No, they do have they did start off with a great example, but you could say that the British stole from America with the colonization, and then there's the independence because the Americans wanted it for themselves and cut Brits out of the equation. Anyway, it's and now the Americans are looking at other places as well. It's a spillover effect. I'm just looking at my hair. Maybe I should get another haircut. I got a haircut not too long ago, but it's pretty long. I tried to keep as much length, but with it being hot, maybe I should chop it to there. That's still pretty good. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Of course, Cody Cameron, it was awesome. Is Twitch your only source of income? I don't have rent at the moment, Steezy. So the last couple years of Twitch, I put a lot more effort into trying to make money on Twitch with events and whatnot, and that helped pay for my living. But now the person that I'm living with is not charging my rent. Yes, exactly. Rent is the big one, and so. That being taken out of my current equation, so that's why I don't want to screw anything up over here because it's a very cushy situation. But taking out rent of the equation means that my income from Twitch is sustainable. But for all of my travel plans is where it becomes a little bit more of a tough one. But I'm trying to do what I can. And then on top of that, we're very close to being monetized on YouTube. So I'm curious if we can get a couple cents here or there. That would be very cool as well. I'm not so certain that it would be a whole bunch, but every bit counts. So, you know, even if we get $1 here or there, then that's $1 more than I had before. Yeah, it needs to be in frame. Exactly right. I need to cut it so that it's not dangling off camera. I like that. From the Philippines. Nice. Yes. And I know that there's a lot of history over in the Philippines with the Spanish as well. It's actually something that I know very little about. But I do find it fascinating for sure. And checking social media. Well, hopefully there's nothing for them to find over here. Yes, I know. The gaming. I'm not actually a big fan of Auckland myself, but it is a big city for sure. And the landscape of New Zealand is gorgeous. Yes, exactly, Fred. More than wanting to cut them out of the deal. This is also true. I was being very facetious about it. Switzerland. I'd love to see more of Switzerland. It's not on my travel plans this year, but maybe next year. Yeah, exactly. The Filipino history is just very, very rich in a way that I know very little about. I know this one already, Bjorn. Prejudice. Only a ginger can call another ginger. I actually have no idea, Kiwi Man. I'll let you know once I'm monetized. How about that? But, you know, it's not just about monetization for ads. It's also about, like, memberships. So similar to subscribing on Twitch, maybe some people will want to become members on YouTube. No expectations for those who are watching on YouTube right now. But I am just talking out loud. I like to try and be somewhat transparent about the finances on content creation. I find it very fascinating. And a lot of people don't like talking about it, whereas I just find that very reductive. You think I'll rock a bald head? I've talked about this before, but I don't think I would because I kind of have an alien head. Where I've got this big, like, I've got this protruding skull. And that's because I'm an alien, of course. So it makes sense. I won't get a bob until I think if I become a mum. I feel like the bob will be necessary if I decide to have children, because then I don't have this situation going on from the little grabby hands. Yes, I have been to Australia. I lived there for 10 years, but I am no longer living there now. I live in a nice part of Auckland, and it's good. Can't say much for the tougher parts. Yeah, and that's the thing. There are nice parts of Auckland, but you also know there are some annoying parts of Auckland. Yeah, mostly crazy. New Zealand is like a sibling. They've got this sibling rivalry between Australia and New Zealand where they constantly fight and butt heads, but they will protect one another if anyone else tries to attack them. Yeah, the bobblehead. Yeah, little brother, you get it. Have a bunch of kids? Maybe one or two. But I have to find someone to marry me before I can have them. Oh, wait. I've already had several proposals. Thank you, cutie. I want a bob now. No, I like my long hair for now, although it is looking a little bit dry at the moment. I washed it this morning and let it air dry, so it's looking a bit lion's maning. But I will, I think, yeah, I was happy with the haircut I got, but it was so recent. But I think I want them to do a little bit more. Anyhow. Yeah, grabby hands, exactly. The thing is, I like my hair up as well, but I'm so bad at putting my hair up is the problem. So I don't even have a hair tie at the moment. My last one broke. So I'd love to be better at so this is this is my ginger problems is I've been complimented on my hair my entire life. And so when that happens, you just get very lazy because it's like if my hair's out like this, where I've literally had a shower this morning, I've not even put a brush through it. It's just kind of done its thing. And people are like, wow, I like your hair. Then I go, thanks. And I don't put any effort into it. And so it just lives. It just exists. Whereas I feel like other people, they will be more creative with it. So I don't even know how to French braid, for example. I don't know how to do a nice ponytail like how all the girlies do. So that is my problem with being ginger. Thank you, Spongy, and the same to you. But yeah, I've had people do my hair for me, and I'm like, hell yeah! Now I just try and stick this out for the rest of the day and even sleep with it. But anyway, it's never too late to learn, indeed. You bathe? No, I don't bathe. I shower. Your hair is gross. Okay, yes, yeah, help me out. I need more people telling me how gross it is and dry and how I need to put more effort into it. I say I bathe. Yes, I go to bath to bathe. No, that's the problem. It might seem like it's easy, but I don't have a hair tie on me right now. Like, what do? Do we leave these bits out? Do we tuck them away? And then if you tuck them away, then it's like, is that too much forehead? Because I put it up like this when I go exercising, don't get me wrong. But I like having a little bit around here. Thank you, Charlotte. I like having a little bit of a frame. And then I just start, and then I have all these baby hairs. Okay, we'll zoom this in. This is the other thing, right? There we go. I have all of these baby hairs, and then they get really annoying, and so then I just end up giving up because I'm like, ah. And then you try and put, see, look, it was fine, right? We can go like this, and then you try and put the hair tie on, and then you got this shit going on. What is this? Oh, sorry, I'll move over for the vertical as well so you guys can see. Like, what is this? What is this? This is why a ponytail is tough, okay? This is why it's tough. Because what is this? How does this work? How it's like... And so then you start again, right? Okay, let's start again. So we try and get the hair up. And see how it's starting to separate already? And then this looks flat, but this is puffy. It's not as simple as people think it is. And then we put it like this. Look at the unevenness. Look, see how it's not as simple as people think it is? Yeah, exactly. It's not collected evenly. And so then you keep on doing it again. The brush would help. I will admit that I don't have a brush on me. This is exactly what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing agreeing with you. My whole point was I know it's a skill issue. I know it's a skill issue. That's the whole problem, is I haven't had to worry about putting my hair up, so I don't know how to do it. It takes practice. Yes, the skill issue is the same argument that I had. That is the problem. I was admitting that too. Anyway, Harry's a wizard. Yeah, take time to learn or experiment like the girlies. And I will confess that when I was doing the actual play online, I did try to learn a few new hairstyles, and that was fun. I did enjoy trying to learn something new, but I get lazy. I heard bird are more scared of women. I feel like it's because they think hair is bird, yeah, or nest. They try to take the things. Got no hair, so you got me beat. Thank goodness. Look at this Muppet. Hi. Yes. So the only logical reason is to shave it all off. Obviously. Hi, Soul. You don't get to choose what happens with the baby hair. It's just like a baby. It could be my weird head shape. That's also a good point. That's a good point. Okay. Hi, Adam. Hello. I had no one to teach me. Well, you must have practiced more than I have. A skill issue can be worked on, and that's what I'm also agreeing with. It is only 2:00 in the afternoon for me, Tris, and I'm originally from New Zealand and answer that question, even though the bot answered it, but I live in England. Yeah, Arlo helped exactly right. No, the Millie was the only time I put effort into my hair. So what we are learning is that I need to role play. Because when I play as Ex Clementine, it's just like meh. So Millie, I had to go method, I guess. That was the closest to method acting that I had involved in my life. I'm not really, when I was acting, method acting was not my style. But Millie was very girly girl. She was soft girl, she was femme, and so I think that's why I put more effort into it. So there were ones where I had like a bun, and I had the attempt at doing like braid here and stuff. So that was the method acting, and I practiced, and then I went to practice again, and then I hated it, so I moved on. Yeah, product, exactly. You don't get lazy, you get clumsy. Rude. 10:53. That's not so bad. In Australia, there we go. Yeah, I need a role player as someone with style, because then I can actually be putting more effort in. Scotland, hell yeah. Yeah, role play with someone who cares about their hair. Cosplaying is so much fun, for sure. I love cosplaying, but again, like any skill, it's one that I have to practice. Hi, Leo! Will you marry me? If you smile at this, then hopefully that will achieve the goal of making you merry. Do you think the ginger would change to blonde if you spent more time in the sun? I can tell you from experience, no. If anything, when I spend more time in the sun, it actually goes more ginger somehow. I don't really know how that works. But when I was a kid, summer was always when I was the most ginger. Luckily me, I actually have extra teeth because I have all my wisdom teeth as well. Hi, Carter. Hi, Butter. Roleplayers are get ready with me, vid. Yeah, what is it? GRWM. So, I haven't even told you guys the story of what happened with all the drama this morning. What? Okay, I feel like I will have to shelve that. I'm gonna forget. I'm supposed to play games, damn it. Ah, stressful. Anyway, I went to when I had a shower, I went to my local cafe so I could sit in the sun and for it to dry off. And then the barista just started talking to me. And this is not the same barista that I'd already chatted with, okay? I don't know this barista's name. And I was like, bro, why are you telling me about this band? They're like, hey, have you heard about this band? And I was like, no. So I drank my coffee a lot quicker than I normally would, so I could leave. Kia ora, anonymous gamer. Kei te pēhia koe. Yeah, it's just, yeah, speak to me, not peasant. You are my servant, not my mouthpiece. I'm good boy, glad to hear it. I got all my wisdom teeth yanked in one session. They didn't put me under. Yeah, that would be, whew. Yeah, so they if you guys want to know what the band was, Castle Rat. That is the one. I don't think he was hitting on me because I do know him. I've seen him a lot, and he does have a partner, but that, doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I know that he has a partner. I think he just knows, he knows that I'm friendly with the other barista. So he's a very, chill, charismatic guy. But I was like, I didn't want to talk to you in this moment. And this is the thing, is I think because he knew I was friendly with the other barista, he was like, well, we can talk too. And I was like, I don't care about Castle Rat. I don't know. I just want to drink my coffee. So apparently they're like, because they know that I play Dungeons and Dragons, right? So I think that's why they brought it up. They're like, oh, you've probably already heard of Castle Rat. And I'm like, me? Music? No. I don't think he was trying to flirt. I think he was just trying to be nice. But I didn't want to talk to him today. I had ginger hair when I was younger, but I have been dyeing my hair brown. Ah, well, there you go. If you prefer brown, then good for you. I don't play Roblox, no. I'm well as well. Thank you for asking, gamer. Very well. I've just had a nice chill day. Anyhow, I think, they were just trying to do their job. Castle. He was saying I look like... Yeah, he wasn't talking about a band. He was saying that I looked like a rat in a castle. Exactly right. Okay, that was the shortest way of me explain... I'm sure they do, Animus. I've never heard of them. I'm originally from Kirikiriroa, but I am now in Southampton in the UK. So it's a long way from home, anonymous gamer. So that was the short version of that story. And then the second story was I popped to I will go grab a cider. I got a cider on my way home because I was like, it's gonna be bloody hot upstairs, so I'm gonna want a beer. And then I saw that the cider was there, so I've got myself a cider. I don't know if it's any good, but the situation when I was going to my shop is there was just this guy that dropped a whole bunch of stuff, and there was this yelling, and I was playing Pokemon, so I didn't really know what was happening, but I looked up and there was just this bottle that had smashed on the ground, and someone who was putting things into a basket, and another guy who was goofily running away, and I was going, what is happening here? And he was like, and I went, And I got a little bit closer to this guy who was cleaning up. He was like, get out of here. And I went, ooh. And then he started walking back into the Tesco. And I was like, oh, excuse me. There's still this one that you've left behind. And it was what do they call them? It looks like a phone, but it's the stuff that scans products and whatnot. And so that, so I picked that up for him and handed that. Otherwise, that would have just been on the side of the road. So I did a good deed today, even if I wasn't 100% sure what was going on. However, when I was in the shop looking for my cider, they were talking about the guys. And so basically, there had been two guys who had come in and tried to coordinate a bit of a, not a robbery, but a thievery. They were trying to get a whole bunch of alcohol, and they ran out of the store, and they coordinated against each other. And so they tried to come back in, and the guy was like, get out of here. It was crazy, man. I was like, well, I just want to get some beers, man. And one of the customers who was also just getting their stuff was like, have they just come back to gloat? And the Tesco worker was like, yeah, this is how I knew the story because they were explaining about these two guys. He's like, I can't believe they've just come back to gloat about it. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny that someone's like, are they gloating? It's not a word I would have expected to hear, but it's true. The guy was just hanging around the shop still to kind of be like, it was crazy. Anyway, so I had a little bit of a excitement happening today. I just want me beers, exactly. He probably doesn't even listen to Castle Rat. No, he definitely wasn't listening to Castle Rat. He just wanted to talk to me and no, I didn't shut him down. Let me be clear. I didn't want to talk to him, but I was polite in the moment. There's a big difference. I didn't want to talk about him. I didn't want to talk to him, but I was like, oh, Castle Rat, I don't know who that is. And he's like, oh yeah, look at this, read this. And so I was reading because they're coming to Southampton is the other thing. So I was reading it and he's like, isn't that, I'm sure you probably already know about it because, you know, you like your, and I was like my what? My fantasy game. So they call it like fantasy rock and stuff like this. And so we're just talking about Castle Rat. I was like, no, I've never heard of them. And they're coming, oh my God, they're coming to Southampton. Cool. Oh my gosh, I'll have to check them out later. So I was polite about it. I didn't shut them down. I'm just aware that I just wanted to drink my coffee. And I didn't want to converse. Yeah, and the family coming back. No, so mum and dad are still in New Zealand. And so an answer to your question as well, DJ, is I am staying with a friend at the moment. My parents are planning to visit me in September, which will be nice. Yeah, they're still all in New Zealand. So I haven't lived with my parents for many, many years now. Oh, that's a jaw pain. I'll leave you guys to that. No, I don't watch any sports, admittedly, Travis. Not my thing. I like my nerdy shit. Criminals always return to the scene of the crime, apparently. You! Oh, wait, that says yo. Sorry, Jalisha. That was a bit aggressive. Yo! How you going? Hi, Jordan. I have a flight to catch. Go enjoy your travels. Top of the morning. Hi, Bruce. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your weekend as well. That might be the most press they're getting, yeah. I look into it after I finish my coffee because that's the reason I'm here. Exactly. But you're right. Maybe we're all going to become Castle Rat fans and all of a sudden they're going to have a whole bunch of people turn up because of our promotion. What's the best nature spots in the South Island? So Milford Sound. It is honestly like so gorgeous. It's even been used in movies as an alien planet because it's just so beautiful. Particularly, I recommend doing an overnight trip in the Milford Sound on a boat. So that's what I did. Is we drove into Milford Sound, jumped on a boat, went out and saw all of this beautiful fjord lands. Not to be confused with fjord lands, but it was a fjord. And then slept on the boat in the middle of this like water with all of these beautiful areas around it, and kayaked on the water. So Milford Sound, that is a must see, and it is very, very common for tourists to go, but it is one of those tourist hotspots that I actually genuinely think is worth going to for sure. I was polite, exactly, Goku, and the scene of the store was madness. It was just it was a very hectic morning. How about that? Silence, beverage maker, I care not for the anecdotes you hurl at me. Begone! Begone! Do you want to hear the real blasphemy? Do you guys want to hear the real blasphemy? So this particular coffee shop is only open a few days a week, so it's not actually my go-to. It's my closest one, but it's not my go-to one. And there's only one barista at that coffee shop that I actually like making my coffee. And this guy... So there's a few of them, right? And so there's one barista who actually makes a good cup of coffee, and there's a couple baristas who are fine. This guy, not only was he talking to me about Castle Rat, he also doesn't make a good coffee. and it was really, really sad. Anyway, that's why I don't really go to that one, because if my barista's not there, then I don't like getting coffee from that one. Ooh, ginger beer, that's nice. No, we only speak English around here, sorry guys. He was worked out you're an influencer. Oh, maybe he is a part of Castle Rat band. Maybe he's actually a part of the band. He does look like he would be in a band, I'll tell you that much. As a fellow Māori, I'm so proud of you making it. I'm becoming so good at kia ora. Due to come out to the UK soon. Oh my gosh, for rugby in Leicester. I've not been to Leicester yet, but everything I've seen of it is really, really beautiful. However, as a Māori, be used to not being close to the coast in places like Leicester. Just as a heads up. But yeah, if you're hanging out down south, let me know, and I can give you some advice on UK areas. Yo, Joe, hello. Yeah, I missed where the Tame Impala. The Milford track, I was trying to remember that the other day. Ah, yes, I've never done the Milford track. My mum was doing Milford track when my dad had his first heart attack and never got to finish it. Jeez, aw, that's tough. That is tough. I get an oat milk flat white is my coffee order. But yeah, black coffee is good as well. I have no issues with like a long black, for example. Hey, well done on the memory deep. I'm well, Jordan. How are you? I've not been up to Sheffield yet. VA, good morning. Yeah, so I used to live in Melbourne, and that's why my order is an oat milk flat white. If you go to Leicester, stay away from Mo. Exactly. That's the best advice you can give. Hi, Jerry. How you going? Kiwi, to correct that one as well. No. I'm from New Zealand. Your bean brew is low quality and you should be ashamed of yourself, boy. Out of my sight with your erratic castle nonsense. To be fair, he's actually really nice. I do know his name. Every time I go to the cafe and it's him, I'm always like, hey, how's it going? And he always makes some little joke, and like, he's a nice guy, but that's as far as I want the interaction to go. I don't want to talk about Castle Rat afterwards. A leather jacket in this heat? No, thank you. Hi, Turkey's Nest. It is far too hot. Look, I got my knees out. You think I want to wear a leather jacket when it's this hot? My goodness gracious me. I'm gonna be so real with you guys. Do I actually feel like playing video games? I'm kind of just been enjoying yapping away, to be quite frank with you. What's a Maori? So Maori are the native people of New Zealand. Is the answer to that one praying first? Nice peasants are almost as good as the quiet ones. Oh, but like, we know. Norfolk, okay. It's like paradise today. Yes, I'm having a good one, but that's the thing, is it's such a beautiful day down here in Southampton as well that I'm like, anyhow. At least until the brewing game gets better, I know. I tell you what, kia ora, New Zealand, Mr. MGR. I'll tell you what, is I have genuinely been thinking that maybe I should ask if they will teach me how to make a cup of coffee, because it's pretty close to where I live, and so it would be a good place to work. And the current situation is that they're closed on so many days because they don't have enough baristas to be open on the other days. And I was like, well, if someone else can help out, then you can be open more days. So I have thought about it. I'll let you know how that goes. The other thing is that I kind of like not working. But I think it would be good for me to get a job to show to the UK that I'm serious about working here. I'm from the North Island, in answer to that one. Anglais, Carlos, por favor. Just chatting is the best part of Clem streams. Thanks, Spidey. Thoughts about denim jackets? I think that they used to serve a purpose. I think that they're kind of out of trend at the moment. I feel like they are, I feel like they're outdated fashion, but just like anything, that cycle will come back around and they'll become super popular again. I like staying up to catch the tail end of stream. I think you could do 4 to 5 hours one day with like thank you. Thanks, Joe. I genuinely do. I generally do about 4-hour live streams anyway. I just started a bit later today. How hot is it? Oh, what's my dad doing up so late at night? What the heck? Hold on. Oh, I guess that was from a while ago. Ah, okay, cool. He was just messaging me in response to a message I sent him. I caught up with my dad last night, so I just said thanks for the chat, Papa. And so he just sent me a smiley face as instead of saying anything back, he just sent me a smiley face. How hot is it? It is what? What the heck? No freaking way. No ways! Okay, I'm just double checking that there's nothing doxing on this. No wonder it's so bloody hot! Jesus! That is pretty warm, and especially for me up in the attic, it's hot, man! That's freaking hot! A denim jacket is good if you cut the sleeves off. Yeah, especially in this weather for sure. 27 degrees. Oh, glad to hear it, BA. Feel better this morning. My watch said I slept for over 7 hours and a sleep score of 75. Ooh, that's still not a very high sleep score, BA. So I'm sorry that if that is your good days, that must be really tough for you on other days. You poor thing. Okay, catching up. Favorite One Piece laugh? I haven't watched One Piece, so I don't have much to add there. How much to cut your castle rat? When I first received my rugby contract to play in Leicester, I did my research hoping there would be a nice, beautiful mountains. Nope. You have to go to Europe for that. I went on a road trip just in April, and then I flew back into England, and it was so bloody flat, and I was like... And, oh, here's another heads up, gamer. People will tell you to visit Lake District and Peak District, and you're going to go there and you're going to go, is that it? Because I kid you not, Peak District is basically just like our farmland in Aotearoa. So whenever, especially if you're living in Leicester, you're going to be close to Peak District, and people are going to say that there are some really nice walks in Peak District, and you're going to think about Aotearoa and you're going to be very disappointed. So keep your expectations low when anyone says Peak District. It's just that the British don't know any better. They are not aware of what a mountain is. They don't know what a mountain is. But if you head all the way up north to Scotland, then you'll start being reminded of home. Up in Scotland, it really reminded me of Aotearoa so much. I was quite surprised, like a lot of that rocky grass as well. And then Peak District was basically like, it was just rolling hills. You know, when you drive out of a main city, so for me being Hamilton, but Auckland would be another example, you leave these main cities and then you just have the farmland with the sheep and the cows, and they're all on these kinds of landscapes, and then the river will be running between what we would call hills. That's Peak District minus the sheep. Kia ora. Yes, Aotearoa. I'm trying to make more of a habit of saying Aotearoa as a teaching point as well. So I'm glad that you appreciated that one. Anyway, so Peak District, yeah, it's rolling hills. Oh, thank you, Kaden. Thank you. They're rolling hills. You got it, Kiwi man. Good learning. I liked Southampton, lived there from 2012 to 2020. There we go. West Key had decent bowling. I actually haven't been to bowling yet, but yeah, it's just fine. Hey, Harry. It's a good place to live, but not a good place to be a tourist. When I first visited my friend here, I was like, cool. But living here is a way different. I actually do like where I am. It's quaint, it's calm, it's safe, it's close enough to London town. I like Southampton. It's a nice place to live. Yeah, it would be Red Dead Redemption if we do play. Denim jackets feel like the 90s. Well, that's why it kind of came back in the like late 2010s as well. Kia ora, thank you, BA.
Scientists were finally able to weigh a rainbow. Turns out it was pretty light.
Ah, that's so sweet. That's like a little pot of gold of a joke there. How adorable. Greg's I've only been once and I hated it. I kid you not. I think I have a photo somewhere. I took a bite of the vegan sausage roll and this was my face. Because I didn't want to bite again. Hi, Ruben. Yeah, go to bed, Dad. It was 12:30 though. It was 12:30 when he messaged. It wasn't too late for Dad. Okay, catching up. Take a peek at Peak District. Well, just with the preparedness that it's hills. I am in Southampton. You're correct, Travis. Okay. Bonjour, Tim. Comment ça va? You look good. You look good, Liam. I'm from from Hamilton, Mr. MGR. It's about 29 this end. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it's hot today. Hot. More biddies.
What's orange and sounds like a parrot?
What?
A carrot.
Ridiculous. I love it. Stupid. I know that question is not for me, but funny story. I have 2 crosses on fingers, so I'm accused of lying, saying not possible because I have my fingers crossed. Got okay. Who knows who Jake the Muss is? There are quite a few people. You can even look at Boba the Muss, and maybe you'll have a suspicion of who might know who Jake the Muss is. Is it inland New Zealand? No, inland New Zealand is even prettier, okay? Exactly. See, Peak District you'd think would be mountains. It's not, it's hills. Oh, but Snowdonia in Wales, that is gorgeous as well.
If life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic.
I have heard that one before and it's a great one. Thank you so much for the biddies, BA. Very kind. Speaking of learning, I'm actively trying to memorize the longest place name. I have all the pronunciation down. I just have like the first half memorized so far. If it makes you feel better, Kiwi Man, I only have the first half memorized as well. So you will know it more than I will. Okay. Hi, Ruben. I love a spinach and feta roll. Yeah, that's tasty. Hey. Very, very tasty. Love your voice. I love your attitude. How about that? From the musical, you got it. Alexander.
I went to the library and asked if they had any books about paranoia.
Did they?
The librarian said, they're right behind you.
Ah! That's awesome, Kiwi Man. If you look up Tomata song, then you can learn it with the more melodic way of learning, if that suits you. Just as a FYI. How is the chook in the UK compared to Oz? If you're talking about me, then I can have an answer. I'm a vegetarian, so I unfortunately cannot answer your question about chickens. But me, as a chickadee, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you, Goku. Yeah, you have a wonderful weekend. We might see you tomorrow, and if we don't see you tomorrow, we'll see you when we see you. Did you fart? I have farted in the past, yes. Did I fart in the last minute? No, I did not. Yes, you got the Benedict Arnold over here. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome, Kiwi Man. I love that. Okay, I'm really, really thinking about how hot it is, and I think that's genuinely what's deterring me from wanting to play games, because it's just simply too hot. So I'm thinking that I may not play any games. That is what I am thinking. I have thought about it, and I think it's simply going to be too warm. However, what I am willing to do is to continue mucking around for a little bit longer. I could go get my cider to help with the temperatures. Or I could just end. Yeah, like a legitimate sweaty gamer, exactly, because of how hot it is.
As a child, I had a medical condition that meant I had to eat soil 3 times a day in order
What?
to survive. Lucky my older brother told me about it when he did really.
Lucky my older brother told me about it. What? I don't get it. Well, it's on the PlayStation, so it wouldn't heat up the PC at least, because it's a separate device. Luckily, my older brother told me about it when he did really. Exactly. Then I could become a hot tub streamer or cold tub streamer. Oh! So I think it was the delivery. So the delivery was, luckily my older brother told me about it when he did really. Yeah. It was just the delivery of the punchline. Yeah, so now let me. Yeah, exactly. It needed a comma there. It needed a comma. I understand. Yeah, so luckily his older brother told him about it when he did really. Yeah. Thank goodness. Oh, yes. I kid you not. Maybe I can find it. There is a photo of there is a photo of me somewhere, and I have no idea where it is. I have a suspicion, but there's a photo of me when I would have been about 4 years old, I think. And it's at my grandparents' house, and it's me next to my cousin, and my cousin has the biggest, like, big eyes, massive smile on his face, and then there's me beside him going like this. And both of us have dirt in our hands and dirt around our lips because we had been eating the soil from the pot plant. So if you're ever wondering about me and why I'm a vegetarian, it was just, I was born for it, okay? I was born for it. I don't know why. And the thing is, it was me. You could tell by our faces that I was the one who was like, let's eat this. And I don't know why. He was just happy chappy. It was kind of the equivalent of when dogs are caught doing something naughty. You have the instigator who is like looking guilty as hell, and then you have the other one who's just going along with it, who's super happy. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah, I don't know why I was eating soil, okay? I don't know why. I mean, theoretically, I could press down my nose, but I'm not going to do it. It's currently cold season for us. Yeah, it's getting colder. Hey, it's mad that the seasons for New Zealand and the UK are polar opposites, but it's summer for you. It's crazy. It's so weird. When you, can I ask when you're heading to Leicester? I think it's so cool that you've got the contract as well. Like, not many people are able to succeed in that element. So congratulations. Hi, J-Bro. Dogs eat grass because they have upset stomachs. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. I was a 4-year-old and I just knew that I had been fed something that was upsetting my stomach, and I was trying to correct it. I need it for the minerals. Heston Blumenthal. He had a show about gastronomy. One episode, he garnished a table with garden scene and everything was edible, including the soil. My goodness. Hey, welcome on back, Forder. It's a pleasure. Oh, Forder boys even. It's a pleasure to have you back here. What is weird to me is that most of Europe doesn't have air conditioning. Yes, I actually do need to get an air conditioner for up here, or like something, a fan even, because I've got the window open right now and it does nothing. So I will certainly need something as it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, because this is ridiculous. And 27 degrees Celsius is even hot by like Australian standards. Gotcha, Schmick. Thank you for the extra clarification there. Kiwi fan, that's so cute. Yeah, we just need one fan who is also more like a servant, who can just like essentially be there just off camera doing this. Thank you, fan. Thank you. That's what we need around here. For sure. Europe has only been getting hot enough for air conditioning. Like, oh, that's also a good point, Ron. Yeah, they haven't been as used to how hot it gets. Is a very good point. Very good point indeed. Very good point indeed. Hey, Tasser, how you going? Did you lie to us through song? I would never. I would only lie to you through speech. Thank you very much. Exactly, Toad, and I'm in an attic on top of that, so it's not going to be pleasant. It's actually tolerable now, and it was okay yesterday, but it's something that I'm going to have to be prepared for. From Sydney, g'day, Tim. Yes, I need the grapes exactly. I like personally. I'm a big fan of raspberries or chopped apples. I hate biting an apple, but if it's a sliced apple, I do love a sliced apple. Wave! Did she fart? I did not fart on the live stream, but stick around indefinitely and you might get lucky. How about that? Currently 28 out of 24 indoors here, but that would probably change in like an hour. Gotcha. Ah, kia ora. I'll be there in September, sweet, yeah. Leicester Tigers. Well, oh no, now I know which rugby team I support in the UK. Oh no. So whenever someone talks about sports to me, I don't usually have answers for them because I don't really follow anything. Even back in New Zealand, I didn't follow anything. But last year, before coming to the UK, as a live stream situation, I chose my EPL team, and now I know my rugby
Growing
team.
up, my school had a big problem with drugs, especially Class A.
That's so ridiculous! I love it! I'm not familiar with Louis Walsh. Let me look them up. Louis Walsh. Thank you, Chungus. Thank you. Type 1 if you love your cat. What if I don't have a cat? Louis Walsh! Oh my gosh. He could be my dad. I'm trying to think if this guy looks like my dad, because I actually do look like my dad a lot, funnily enough. I think his jaw is a lot squarer than mine. So, what do you guys think? Twins? Oh, it's not wanting to load. His jowls are a lot more prominent these days. What do you guys reckon? Twinning? Hashtag twinning? Hi, Safa! Ooh, I like apple slices with peanut butter personally. Yeah, I like doggies too. Why was the L team so eepy? Why was the L team so eepy? I think we're twinning it for sure. Oh, yeah, what number if I love your cat? I mean, I think there's something in the eyes. I feel like his eyes reminds me a little bit of my dad's eyes. Anyway, twinning! I will confess that I do feel like I understand the Asmongold twinning more than this guy, but nonetheless. I also choose this guy's wife. That's the one. New Zealand supporting All Blacks is mandatory, exactly. No, so Nine Fox, All Blacks is our rugby team. All Blacks is our rugby team. It's completely fine. Rianne is very not saying anything dodgy. Just that is a completely innocent question. So, oh, okay. I was just double checking, Nine Fox. And you know what? You are welcome to double check as well. This is true. Oh, yes, you got to be careful of saying Asmongold because otherwise my bot will start rattling off. Oh, thank you, Mike. Thank you. Yeah, All Blacks lives matter. No. It was just double checking that there was not anything nefarious with the commentary, because some people can hijack it to mean other things, as we know, and so that's all that was being happening, and so it's all good, from all ends. All right, guys. I think that I am going to leave it there. I know that it's kind of a bit of an unceremonious ending, but I feel really positive, and I think that if I try to drag it out, then we might end up it just might end up being a drag, and I'd rather leave on a positive, like silly, goofy, happy laughter, just just goofiness, rather than trying to make something out of nothing. And so I'm gonna go cool off. I'm gonna go get that cider. I hardly know her, but I'm about to get super intimate. And luckily downstairs is actually a little bit cooler. And so here is just a little other FYI for those who care. So it's hot up here because I'm in the attic, but how the flat is set up is kind of in a position where it does stay a little bit cooler even without air conditioning. So when I go downstairs, it's always such a nice feeling because it's like, freshness. So I'm gonna go chill down there, and then it will be all good. And happy Memorial Day from the US as well. There we go. Yeah, I gotta go get some sun, and I'm waiting for a delivery, an Amazon delivery today as well. So I think that will all work out very well. Thank you guys so much for all of the follows and the subscriptions today. We had a lot of new people tune in, so very much appreciated. You guys go enjoy your weekend. I will be back live tomorrow morning for those who want to hang out. We will play Red Dead Redemption tomorrow as an example of what's going to happen tomorrow. But before we get into that, we'll do a little bit of yapping. Yeah, just enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you get up to. Thank you guys for stream, and I'll see you. It's not a better chair. I did put a chair in my cart that looked kind of fun. But no, it is not a better chair. It's just ridiculous little knickknacks, but I'm looking forward to it. It's a pleasure as well, gamer. Kia ora. Yes, yeah, a lot of people will need to go to sleep, and some of you guys can go start your day. But in general, thank you guys. And like I said, if you have enjoyed, well, I actually didn't know if I said it, but if you had enjoyed yourself, please consider following, please consider subscribing. Go check me out on all of the other socials, and go check out some of the edits I've done on my vertical content as well. And that's all. Yes, goodbye. Oh, goodbye, or rather good night. But goodbye. Farting is such sweet sorrow indeed. Yes, exactly. I got the guns out today. No one complimented me on my biceps, damn it. I'm gonna have to go do some push-ups to make up for that, so that next time I get the guns out, I get a few more compliments. Thank you very much. But genuinely, thank you so much, everyone. I really, really enjoyed just this kind of goofy miniature stream today. And as you can tell, I'm just feeling like a very positive individual. So thanks, guys. You have biceps? Wow. Oh, thank you, Obi. Yeah, looking respectfully. That's the one. Biceps. Bye. Oh, you guys are just so respectful. You're so respectful. I should have been more understanding of that myself. Thanks, guys. You got great vibes. Yeah, my goodbyes do take ages, but that's just I just don't want to leave. I just don't want to leave. What can I say? It's just so hard. It's so hard. Okay. That's all. I'm done now. Goodbye.